These are the ingredients that I use for a Spanish scrambled tofu. I usually have this when I'm, in the morning if I'm dieting or something like that, because it's super low in carbs and calories. So I always use a firm tofu. This one is 16 ounces. I also use olives. This is about 5 diced. I have about 35 asparagus here, just the tips. I have about 9 mushrooms chopped. I have Campari tomatoes. I have about 4 here. I also use vegan cheese. I like using this brand because of the mozzarella shreds. I kind of like that. It's about I have about 1/4 cup of the cheese. I have 2 tablespoons of Recaito. I have Sazon here, and that's 1 tablespoon. I also have garlic cloves. There's 3. It's nice and sliced. And then I use my coconut spray. You can also do this. You can also do this in oil, but I try to use the coconut oil as it's very light. When you're gonna prepare the tofu, the best thing to do is just cut the edge of it, so this way all the water can be taken out. Sort of try to squeeze as much as you see all the water. We don't need this water, so you squeeze it. If you want to, you can let it sit for a while and let some of the water, the end of the water, come out. But what we're going to do here, so I'm going to show you what I usually do with it. Open it up, take it out, give it one last good squeeze. Okay, then you take it and sort of crumble it. Make it look like scrambled eggs. Voila. So usually I put the oil in. I already have put a little bit of oil in, and I turned on the oven, the stove already. I like to add the onions and start cooking them first. I usually put them to medium-high at first, and then I lower them a bit. And as you can see, they cook a little faster when you have them on high, but then you don't want to burn them, so you got to lower them a little bit. Mix them around just to keep them separated so they cook even faster. Then I'll put my garlic in. That tends to now normally, depending on what vegetable I use, I'll put the vegetable in now because I like them to get a little bit softer, and I'm using asparagus. So I'll put the asparagus in just so that they're getting cooked a little bit. I don't really like them really mushy, so sometimes I'll put them a little bit after, so they have that kind of like firm texture. I'm also using Recaito, and the smell of Recaito is delicious. Spread it around a little bit. And then I like to put the tomatoes in. The tomatoes, it's good to put the tomatoes in at this point because the tomatoes will give it a little bit of a liquid on the bottom, so this way you don't burn the pan, seeing that we're not using like olive oil. We're using the cooking spray, coconut oil. And as you can see, there's juice down there, so this way there's nothing getting burned. And I'm always constantly moving everything around to make sure nothing gets stuck to the pan. At this point, I'll add in my mushrooms. I just mix things around. Now the mushrooms I like a little bit softer, so I'm going to leave this sizzling here for a little bit. Just make sure that all the mushrooms is touching the bottom of the pan. Once I see the mushrooms are a little bit softer, I'll start mixing in my tofu. The tofu was already strained and crumbled up. And here's the tofu. The tofu also, even though I take all the water out, also has a little bit of juice going on. In order for it to look a little bit more like scrambled eggs and not so white, I usually add my sazon. I have 1 tablespoon here. And mix it all around. And add my olives. As I don't really add salt to my food because the sazon does have a little bit of salt, though it's the tropical kind. The tropical kind of sazon is MSG free, and so it's lower in sodium. And I don't really put too much salt in my food. That's an option that you can do if you want. I like to make sure that every part gets coated. You can use this in any recipe that you would use, like scrambled eggs. You know, it's just like a Spanish scramble, and it's actually really, really good. Once I see everything is already scrambled, mixed, seasoned, and everything looks good, then I'll go ahead and add my vegan cheese. I like to put just a little bit higher, just so that cheese melts faster, so that it doesn't, you know, we still have juice on the bottom. That's what we have to be concerned with, because we don't want it to dry up and get burned. So I'll start mixing it about a little bit until I see the cheese is totally melted. You know, at this point you can cover it if you want to, just so that the cheese gets melted faster, or you could just keep on mixing it around. The cheese is starting to stretch, as you can see. See? And you can add a little black pepper if you want to. Me, I don't add the black pepper, but it's a nice little touch. And then you could serve it with bread on the side, or anything that you would eat, regular scrambled eggs. But this is way better. And this is my Spanish scrambled eggs.